Good morning, students. Today's topic is simple, compound, complex sentence. Based on structure, we have three types of sentences. Three types. Three types of sentences. Number one is simple sentence, number two is compound sentence, and number three is complex sentence. Let's go through all these three and find out what these three mean, where do we use them, and how are they helpful in our exams. Number one, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that expresses a meaning, a complete meaning. And always remember, a sentence has a subject and a verb. The more subjects and verbs you have, the more complex and big sentences you can form. Based on how clauses are used, sentences are classified as number one, simple sentence, number two, compound sentence, and number three, complex sentences. That is why earlier we studied the topic called as clauses. If we don't know about clauses, we can't understand, not that we can't understand, it is a little bit difficult to understand these three topics where we discuss simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. Chalo, simple sentence. What is the definition of a simple sentence? A simple sentence has only one independent clause. It contains one subject and verb combination. So what is this? Let's take an example. It may be long, but it has only one clause. A simple sentence may be long. Length doesn't matter, but it has only one single clause. Example, structure. What is the structure of a simple sentence? It has a subject, plus it has a verb, plus it has an object or a complement or a predicate, as we say in state board. So examples, the cat sleeps. Example, she dances beautifully. Example, we played football yesterday. Number 4, they walked to the park. Number 5, he loves music. Number 6, Abdul likes to talk. Number 7, Ryan likes to keep quiet. Number 8, Bushra thinks everybody is crazy except her. So all these are examples of which sentence? Simple sentence. Okay, next is compound sentence. What do we have? Compound sentence. Definition. What is the definition of a compound sentence? A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses. How many clauses? Two or more, but which one? Independent clauses. We are not talking about dependent clauses. We are not talking about subordinate clause. We are just talking about independent clause, that is the main clause. But there is a catch. These two or more independent clauses in a which sentence? Compound sentence. Two or more clauses in a compound sentence, they are joined by conjunctions. And what type of conjunctions? They are joined by coordinating conjunctions. What is a coordinating conjunction? Coordinating conjunction are words that connect two sentences, but they complement each other. They are different sentences in their own. They are independent sentences. If you take out one sentence. If you take out one sentence from the equation, the other does not lose its meaning. It has its own independent meaning. If you want to remember these coordinating conjunctions, you can remember the keyword, that is fan boys. Which keyword? Fan boys. F stands for, in fanboys, FANBOYS. In fanboys, F stands for. Can you see here on the screen? For. A stands for and. N stands for nor. B stands for but. O stands for or. Y stands for yet. And S stands for so. So all these FANBOYS, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, all these words are called as fanboys. And these fanboys are used to connect the two or more clauses which form a what type of sentence? Compound sentence. Yes, or it is a semicolon. Semicolon is also used to connect two sentences and form a compound sentences. Chalo, let's look at the structure. In a compound sentence, we have one independent clause, we have one conjunction which combines both of the sentences, and then we have another independent clause, and it goes on and on and on as much as independent clauses we want to add. Let's look at examples. I went to the store and I bought bread. So these two sentences, if we remove one sentence, the other does not lose its value. So when I say I went to the store and I bought bread, so these two independent clauses which have their own independent meaning, which have their own subjects, own verb, own object, they are joined by this coordinating conjunction. Which conjunction do you see here? Which conjunction? And. Number 2, she wanted to play but it started raining. Who is she? We don't know, but she is a subject here. She wanted to play, this is independent clause number 1. It started raining, this is independent clause number 2. And these two independent clauses are joined by this coordinating conjunction called as but. Now let's look at example number 3. They studied hard, so they passed the exam. So here we have two independent clauses. Independent clause number 1, they studied hard. Independent clause number 2, they passed the exam. And where is the coordinating conjunction? What is the coordinating conjunction? The word that joins two independent clauses. Which one is the coordinating conjunction? Tell me. It is so. They studied hard, so they passed the exam. Next one. Number 4. He loves reading, yet he forgot his book. Here we have two independent clauses, two main clauses. Number 1 is he loves reading. Number 2, he forgot his book. He loves reading, that is one independent clause. He forgot his book, independent clause number 2. Coordinating conjunction, which is the coordinating conjunction? Yes, it is yet. So yet he forgot his book. So yet is the coordinating conjunction that is conjoining these two independent clauses. Hence, what type of sentence is this? This is a compound sentence. Next, example number 5. You can come with me or you can stay at home. You can come with me, independent clause number 1. You can stay at home, independent clause number 2. These two independent clauses are conjoined by this coordinating conjunction. Take a look and tell me which is that. Yes, it is or. You can come with me or you can stay at home. So this or is the coordinating conjunction which is joining these two sentences, or as we can say, these two independent clauses, which makes it what type of sentence? Which makes it a compound sentence. Very good. Next part is we talk about the third type of sentence. Third type of sentence is a complex sentence. Which sentence? Complex sentence. Let's look at the definition. A complex sentence has one independent clause. Pay attention. Which clause? One independent clause. Number 2, it has one or more dependent clauses, which is a subordinate clause. If you are a student of CBSE, then we say dependent clause. If you are a student of SSC, we say subordinate clause. But you get the idea. One independent clause, that is the main clause. One or more dependent clauses, that is the which clause? Subordinate clause. Next, what is a dependent clause? Dependent clause cannot stand alone in a sentence. If you keep a dependent clause separate from the main clause, it does not stand alone as a perfect sentence. Why? Because maybe there is no subject. Maybe the word that starts, it is not a coordinating conjunction. So that is why it is a dependent clause. The name itself suggests it is dependent on something. What is it dependent on? The main clause, which is the independent clause. So a dependent clause we have. Also, there is one more khas baat in dependent clause, that it begins with a subordinating conjunction. Which conjunction? Subordinating conjunction. So let's look at one more thing where we understand which are common subordinating conjunctions. Let's look at them. Number 1, because. Number 2, although. Next, when. Next, while. Next, if. Next, since. Next, unless. Next, until. Next, after. Next, before. And let's now look at the structure of which sentence? Complex sentence. So a complex sentence has one independent clause plus one dependent clause, or dependent clause plus independent clause. We don't care where the independent clause comes, we don't care where the dependent clause comes. They come one after another. Maybe independent clause comes first, maybe the dependent clause comes first. But wherever you see a dependent clause, you understand what type of sentence it is. It is it. What type of sentence is it? It is a which sentence? Complex sentence. Remember, simple sentence, one independent clause. Compound sentence, two or more independent clause. Complex sentence, one independent clause and many or one dependent clause. Let's look at examples of which sentence? Complex sentence. Number one, I stayed at home because it was raining. So let's point out at the independent clause first. I stayed at home. Here you see I is the subject, stayed is the verb, at home, at is the preposition, and home is the object. So I stayed at home. Why did you stay at home? Because it was raining. Now if we put out I stayed at home out of the equation and just look at because it was raining, is it a perfect sentence? I don't think so. Why? Because there we have no subject. Also it is a cause for staying at home. So that's why it is called as a which clause? Dependent clause or a subordinate clause. So here we can understand what type of sentence is this. This is a complex sentence where I stayed at home is the main clause and because it was raining is the which clause? Dependent clause. Very good. Let's look at example number 2. She smiled when she saw the puppy. Here when we look at she smiled, this is a perfect sentence, this is a complete sentence, it does not need any other sentence. She smiled, that's it. But the other part of the sentence is when she saw the puppy. This part, when she saw the puppy, this part is called as the subordinate clause. And this subordinate clause tells us that this sentence is which sentence? It is a complex sentence. So one independent clause, she smiled. Number 2, the dependent clause, when she saw the puppy. This makes it a complex sentence. Number 3, although she was tired, she finished the project. So he finished the project. So he finished the project. This is the main clause. Although he was tired, I am also tired, that's why I am making mistakes, I am sorry. He finished the project. This is the main clause. Although he was tired, this is the which clause? This is the subordinate clause. So doesn't matter where the subordinate clause is put in the sentence. Maybe it is before the subordinate clause, maybe it is after the main clause, doesn't matter, but the subordinate clause should be there. So because subordinate clause is there, although he was tired. So here we need to notice one thing. We need to notice the conjunction. What type of conjunction is it? If they are not fanboys, it is a subordinating conjunction. And when you look at a subordinating conjunction, you understand this is a complex sentence. Next one, example number 4. If you work hard, what's that? If you work hard, you will succeed. If you work hard, you will succeed. If. So what is if? If is a subordinating conjunction, which means the first part of the sentence, if you work hard, this is the subordinate clause, and you will succeed, this second part is the main clause. So which means what type of sentence? Complex sentence. Next one, we waited until the rain. We waited, I don't have my glasses, that's why. We waited until the train arrived. We waited until the train arrived. So train arrived. Until the train arrived. Here what we call until is the subordinate clause. What's a subordinate clause? Which makes the sentence a complex sentence. So this until, this is the reason that this sentence becomes a which sentence? complex sentence. We waited, this is the main clause. Until the train arrived, this is the subordinate clause. Wherever we see these two clauses all together, we understand this is what type of sentence. This is a complex sentence. Alright. Sure. Rules for identifying sentence type. How do we identify which one is which? Which one is the simple sentence, which one is the complex sentence, which is the compound sentence? Rule number one is one clause. If you see one clause, that is the which clause? Main clause. It is a simple sentence. Number two, rule number two, two independent clauses. Pay attention. How many? Two independent clauses joined by fanboys. What are fanboys? Coordinating conjunction. Then understand that it is a compound sentence. Rule number three, if you have one independent clause and if you have one dependent clause, understand it is a complex sentence. This is a way to identify. Okay, chalo. This is part 1 of this lecture where we just know and we get to know how to identify which one is a simple sentence, which one is a complex sentence, which one is a compound sentence. In the next lecture, we will study transformation of sentences. If we have a simple sentence, how do we transform that into a complex sentence? Or if we have a complex sentence, how we transform that into a simple sentence? How to transform it into a complex sentences? So, until then, thank you very much. And I will share notes. If you want the notes, then you can go to Google Classroom and then you can take all the notes. Also, I will share the notes in your group. If you want, you ask your teacher and then she can share the notes or he can share the notes. But just reach out that we want these notes so that you can copy down. Also, you can pause the video and then you can copy down, or otherwise you can go to Google Classroom, download the Google Classroom app and then finish all the formalities. I will give you the class code here so that you can go and then find out. See you in the next lecture.